Saving Skyrim wasn't enough for you. Had to sign on for even more heroics. It's good to see you. I could use your help. You know better than anyone what we're dealing with. We need to figure out exactly what the Grey Host is up to. The Ravenwatch is dedicated to curtailing the activities of unscrupulous vampires, and the Grey Host is as unscrupulous as they come. Someone is rebuilding the ancient army of vampires and werewolves from the First Era. We have to stop them. Hey, I was doing stuff before you showed up. Look, there's a new Grey Host. One of their original leaders may be in charge, and they're experimenting with life energy. If that doesn't spell trouble, I don't know what does. Will you help me? Everything I learned up to now points in the same direction. Bangkorai Garrison. There's a scholar named Legerdemain there who may be able to tell us more about the Grey Host and how they were defeated. Cart's over there when you're ready to go. My research has uncovered pieces, but I hope the scholars at the Bangkorai Garrison can put the puzzle together. Members of the Grey Host experimented with life energy, and at least one of their leaders survived their defeat in the ancient past. My research indicates a council ruled the Grey Host. One of those leaders fell out of favor and another survived the final battle. A Durrani noble with connections to Viridian Watch gave the survivor sanctuary. In return, they made her a vampire. In the ancient past, the Grey Host sought to use life energy to draw souls into containment vessels called stone husks. It had something to do with returning the dead to life. I think there's a new Grey Host, and they've revived those experiments. Probably, but nothing that can't wait. Let's take the cart to the Bangkorai Garrison and find the scholars who can tell us more about the history of the Grey Host. For the moment, there are an awful lot of evil conspiracies afoot in Tamriel, and not nearly enough Ravenwatch members to investigate them all. But this isn't a one-person job, which is why we recruited help. No idea. They're spread out. Adusa, for example, mentioned something about necromancers raising bone giants and elsewhere, but she probably wanted to refill her moon sugar stores. Fenorian could be anywhere. He does tend to sneak around. I'm hoping a scholar of ancient Bangkorai battles named Legerdemain or one of her colleagues can tell us more about the Grey Host. With any luck, they have information about the Grey Host that's not too outlandish. The priests have this old holy text that claims St. Pelin leapt off the garrison's walls, landed among the host, asked Stendarr for endless blood, and then fed them all without dying. Then the garrison dropped some rocks on them. See? Outlandish. Exactly. We need practical facts about how the Grey Host was defeated at Bangkorai Garrison. Hopefully Scholar Deal can provide them. Well, this isn't at all what I expected. What happened here? Nice camp, I suppose. I didn't expect to find our historians outside the walls, or to find this place so disturbed. Was someone foolish enough to attack Bangkorai Garrison? No matter. That's Scholar Deal over there. See if she can tell us about the Grey Host.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you here for a tour? I'm afraid they've all been suspended until this mess with the Imperial Army is resolved. If I could offer a suggestion, turn around and head for the safety of Evermore's walls. As you can plainly see, now is not a good time. My fellow scholars and I fled when Septima Tharn and her Daedra-worshipping zealots attacked. We barely got out before the first impacts from their ballistae shook the walls. Occupying the walls. And they didn't just attack the garrison, they conquered it. The Knights keep saying the Lion Guard will come. That will push the invaders out in less time than it takes to brew a cup of tea. But that hasn't happened yet. I'm sorry. Concern for my colleagues and the Firewatch warrior who accompanied them has my thoughts in a jumble. Come to think of it, the Firewatch are experts on the Grey Host. Find my friends, and I'm sure the warrior will answer your questions. They're guardians sworn to watch over a Grey Host burial site located here in Bangkorai. One of their warriors was here recruiting when the garrison came under attack. She went to protect my colleagues, but no one's returned. Can you go find them? Cogleen and Indus fled in the direction of Evermore with the Firewatch warrior, while Jannard headed toward Kerbal's Hollow. Please be careful. The wilderness can be treacherous between here and there. Even if my mind wasn't clouded with worry, I'm an expert on the Second Era. My First Era knowledge is extremely limited. The Firewatch knows more about the Grey Host than anyone. Find her and my friends, and she'll provide the answers you seek. Thank you, friend. When you return with the Scholar safely in tow, we should be able to put our collective heads together and dredge up that ancient history. That is, if the Firewatch warrior hasn't already satisfied your curiosity.
This scholar's research doesn't go back to the First Era, and the other scholars fled? That puts a wrinkle in our plans, all right. This Pyre Watch warrior is a promising lead, though. Let's go find her and the other scholars. I heard. Let's split up and go after them. All take Kerbal's Hollow. You head toward Evermore. Here, I'll mark it on your map. Yeah, my brother Fenorian told me about one he encountered. They're the guardians of an ancient mass grave where the remains of the Grey Host are said to be interred. Probably knows more than the scholars. Find them and meet me back here. Find the scholars, but try not to get eaten by anything.
You there. Come. You don't look like a refugee. Are you a soldier from the garrison? What news of the Imperial attack? Oh, that's wonderful news. Cogleen and I intended to head straight for Evermore. The cursed Imperials caught up with us. They would have captured us if not for that Pyre Watch warrior. Have you seen her? Is she alive? She was. But we ran into Imperials. The Pyre Watch warrior distracted the soldiers and ordered me to flee. Then she took Cogleen and headed west. Please, find them. I worry for their safety. I will go to Scholar Deal's camp now. We are most fortunate you came to our aid. Other than the fact that they were defeated here centuries ago, not much, I'm afraid. I can tell you Empress Hestra's legions came to the aid of Bangkorai garrison. That's why Hyrok became part of the Alessian Empire for a time. Alas, you seek facts and figures that I don't have readily at hand. Perhaps when I can retrieve my papers from inside the garrison? You know, the Pyre Watch warrior might be able to help you. They're experts on the Grey Hosts of the First Era. I will return to Scholar Deal's camp. May Tall Papa guide your steps.
Psst! Over here! You're the first thing I've seen that isn't an undead monstrosity. Oh, lovely. Are you with the garrison? Please, tell me you're here to rescue me. Oh, thanks, Dundar. I thought I could make it to Evermore, but I tired myself out. When I tried to pass through the old graveyard, I ran into unspeakable horrors. Thought I was finished. I'll head back now. Oh, say, did you find that Pyre Watch warrior? When the Imperials came after us, she managed to distract them and ordered me to run to the graveyard. I think she headed for the Crypt of the Exiles. Oh, I hope she found shelter within. We owe her our lives. Please, will you go check on her? I'll hurry back to Scholar Deal's camp. Be safe.
mongrel. My apologies, Wayfarer. The shadows make it difficult to discern friend from foe. You do not look like my enemy. Perhaps Tuwaka has not forsaken me after all. What are you doing in this wretched place? It gladdens my heart to hear that Scholar Deal is safe. But what of the other scholars? Did my efforts to lead the Imperials away allow them to get away? That is truly fortunate. As for me, I escaped the Imperials only to find myself surrounded by ancient undead. Let us speak outside. I will follow your lead. May Onsi guide your blade. Lead on, Wayfarer. The exit. Let us see the sky once more. I came to Bangkorai Garrison seeking recruits for the Pyre Watch. Hunding help us, I did not expect those villains to arrive and send innocent people fleeing for shelter. I am grateful you saved the scholars. Now what can I do for you in return? The Grey Host was a terrible army of vampires, werewolves, and other monsters that pillaged the land. Only the combined might of the Bangkorai Garrison and the Alessian Empire finally defeated them. That story, unfortunately, is mired in legend. The true story may be as enthralling as the legends, but we only have bits and pieces of it. Magic was involved, almost certainly. But whether it was divine in nature or Alessian sorcery, we have never been able to determine. I can delve into the records of my order when I return to our sanctum, but understand that the Watch is concerned with keeping the past buried, not exposing it. I can tell you that there are indications that one of the hosts survived the slaughter. A Dureni noble. That gives some credence to the historical record. An incomplete parchment mentioned Viridian Watch, but we never saw the significance. It also said that only the worthy could enter the sanctuary. We never determined what that meant. I do not know the nature of your mission, Wayfarer, and I still have my own to uphold. But if you seek answers about the Grey Host, then may Mara bless your search. I know precious little. I never visited the site myself. Though incomplete, the historical record indicates the survivor hid in a concealed space that they were guided to. Perhaps that has something to do with the idea of being worthy. There wasn't much. Just that the worthy would be guided to safety. Perhaps that is the key, if you can determine what worthy means to a vile vampire. Any place associated with the Grey Host cannot be trusted. Evil does not fade, so be on your guard.
There you are.
Thank you again for the timely rescue. I dare say I'll regale my grandchildren with the tale of my escape in return for the rest of my days. I simply must commit it all to paper. So much history to record.
When the Imperials attacked, I resigned myself to whatever fate Tall Papa thought fitting for me. I'm glad that you were part of that fate. I am not yet ready to leave the land of the living.
What an exciting day! When that gorgeous wood elf came swooping to my rescue, I just about swooned. Mind you, I didn't need to be rescued. I had it all well in hand. Even still, my rescuer was a delightful surprise. No complaints here.
You found them. Cogleen, Indus, and Jannard returned not long ago. Thank you. We owe you a great debt. I hope the Firewatch warrior was able to provide the historical information you came looking for.
Good. You're back. I found Jannard and I see you've managed to return with the rest. Show off. Now that we settled that matter, what did the Firewatch warrior tell you about the Grey Host? I was afraid of that. So much about the First Era has been lost. I wonder if the Firewatch knows anything about the other details we learned. About the survivor and their connection to a Dureni noble. That matches what we already uncovered, and confirms the Dureni connection. Did you find out anything else I should know? A riddle, damn it. There's always a riddle. Well, I say we go to Viridian Watch and figure this out on our own. I'll mark the location on your map. Now let's go before Scholar Deal tries to regale me with more tales of the Knights of St. Pellin. I'll meet you at Viridian Watch. Look! There's a sigil, right there. Don't you see it? It makes so much sense. The riddle. Only those worthy can find the way to safety. Only vampires and werewolves can see these sigils. That explains why no one ever found anything. That's because you aren't a vampire or a werewolf. Hold on, I've got just the thing. Here, a blood pendant. It lets me share some of my vampiric essence so you can see the sigils too. It's perfectly safe. At least, Fenorian said it was harmless. We follow the sigils, of course. The Grey Host survivor must have used these as a guide, and they were made for that specific purpose. Now, let's see where they lead. Another one. Keep going west. South here. Not that we have a choice. East, down that tunnel. Let's go south, up those steps. East here, and down again. Another one, northeast around this corner. Keep going straight. I think we're close. Ha! This must be it! Now how to go about opening it. done it. Let's check inside. Even thousands of years later, I smell faint traces of blood, sweat, and fear. A Grey Host survivor definitely hid out here. Let's have a look around. Rada Al-Saran was a survivor. That figures. And Lady Thorn helped him. Or should I say, Lady Ingrid? Looks like he had quite the setup down here. I'm surprised that's lasted all this time. Wait, what's that? Let me see it. I recognize this signet, but that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. No, this can't be. But it is, isn't it? Damn it. I don't like where this is going. I've seen this signet before, or one just like it. My mentor, Count Verandis, had one. But why would he have something connected to the Grey Host? That doesn't make any sense. You're right, of course. There must be something we're missing. We need answers, and there's only one place to find them. Ravenwatch Castle in Rivenspire. Let's go. I'll explain more when we get there. I need time to think.
We know you're in there. Open the door, please.
Over here. Good, you made it. So, I've had some time to think. I know this may seem a little unorthodox, but I want to go into the castle through the secret passage. Yes, but we just learned that Count Verandis, my friend, my mentor, and the leader of House Ravenwatch possesses a Grey Host signet. That disturbs me, and I'm not disturbed easily. I want to investigate this quietly, without attracting attention. I don't want to do that until I have more information. Verandis and Look, I'm not just going to run in there and hurl accusations at him, especially about something this serious. I want to figure this out before I confront him. Verandis stores relics he's collected over the centuries in the castle's cellar. Always keeps the door locked tight. I trust Verandis, but I need to see what he's hiding. I hope this is all a misunderstanding, that I'm wrong about all this. We'll see. This way. The door's over here. Watch out for vermin. We don't fumigate down here as often as we should. Let's hurry to the cellar. I'm fairly certain I can get it unlocked. Give me a moment. Hurry now. Inside. See if you can find the signet. It must be in one of these crates or boxes. Just a crate of knickknacks. Nothing important. Keep looking. Another secret door? I didn't know that was here. It has the same mark as the signet. Maybe. Let's see what's inside. What is this place? Did Verandis use this as a secret study? Check the desk, would you? That letter. What does it say? That letter. Please tell me it's just an old to-do list or something, and not actually proof that the man I trusted with my life was involved with the Grey Host. What? Verandis, how could you? I don't want to believe it, and yet here it is, right before my very eyes. Why didn't he ever tell me? I thought I knew everything there was to know about him. No, there has to be more. What else does the letter say? It's possible that castle no longer exists, but I want to go. I refuse to believe Verandis was part of the Grey Host. There has to be more to this. Some piece of the puzzle that makes sense of everything. Are you still with me? Thank you. The cart's still waiting outside. We'll take it to the docks and travel by boat from there as we follow this map. Go on ahead. I want to take one more look around. Make sure we didn't miss anything. I think I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Delaying the inevitable won't help anyone, and it won't get me the answers I need. Come on, let's go see what's on this secret island. Answers, I hope. Look, I have to do this. I'm going to see this journey through, no matter what truth waits at the end. Let's just go. The sooner we get this over with, the better. First, however, take this. You earned it. That letter we found. I can't believe Verandis was part of something as evil as the Grey Host. I guess we need to go to the secret island, and the castle if it still exists. I won't rest until I learn the truth. The whole truth. Oh, we follow the map. We'll take the cart to Shornhelm's coast, hire a ship, and sail to the spot indicated on the back of the letter. Fingers crossed, we'll be there faster than you can say gore apple pie. Look around, and hopefully find nothing. Determine this was just all a big misunderstanding. that Verandis was never a member of the Grey Host. If not, then I suppose I want to find undeniable proof that my mentor was a monster. So, can we go now? This still doesn't feel entirely real. I can't believe we found a letter tying Verandis to the Grey Host. From Rada al-Saran of all people. At least there's a map. Let's find this damned island and finish this. The cart's waiting. We discovered a signet that looks just like one my mentor, Count Verandis, used to have. A signet that belonged to Rada al-Saran. When we searched Ravenwatch Castle, we found an old letter to Verandis, requesting he come to a secret island. Not much. The letter mentioned a name, Greyhome. Kind of pretentious if you ask me. And there's supposed to be a castle. If it's still there after all these centuries, maybe we can learn more about Verandis and his connection to the Grey Host. I don't know what to think. Maybe he was forced to join them, or lied to, or tricked, or... You know what? Speculating is pointless. We have an island to find. Let's get on with it. No, but I'm sure it was the same as the one from Viridian Watch. Not that it matters. You read the damn letter. It proves... I don't know what it proves. That my mentor might have been part of a cabal of vampires that tried to conquer Tamriel?